Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Momentum weekly video. This week, we're learning about the 12 wonders of the world and why they should get a virtual tour.
If you haven't yet, stop, go to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're watching this from, click notifications and go to post notifications and turn them on, as well as YouTube. Click that little bell so whenever we post a new video, you are the first person to know.
All right, so wonders of the world, there's 12 of them, or at least the 12 that we're going to talk about in this video. Shout out to WorldSim. I don't know nothing about this company, but they have a pretty damn good blog, so I'm going to reference it here. And just to preface this, we're going to be talking about the wonders, whether you're spiritual, you're into food, you're into history. These are the places for you. This is some of the best, some of the most impactful, influential sites in the entire world. So pretty crazy stuff. And number one, we're going to start off with Petra, Jordan. Guys, if you've ever seen Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, they're looking for the Holy Grail, the cup of everlasting life. This was actually set in Petra right here. Again, there's just a bunch of rich ancient history right here that you can see and reference. They want to credit wealthy spice traders as the people who actually founded this place and built it. So shout out to those guys. It's a lot of work, but it's pretty cool. I mean, you could think this was a canyon, right? This was the entire, this was just a rock. This was a, big piece of rock, and they carved it literally from hand, from tools. So that's pretty cool stuff. Yeah, so moving on to the next one, we got Bagan. So Bagan, if you guys are familiar with, has over 2,200, that's right, 100 temples. So over 2,000 temples in the area, and this place is amazing. I mean, you see all these balloons right here. You get a better view if you're on the hot air balloon. Let's just be honest. You're up high, you can see everything below it, and you can get a better view. But I definitely think getting a virtual tour, we're not going to do 2,200 virtual tours, but we're definitely going to do one. Maybe this one right here. It sits up higher. This one in the back. It looks pretty cool. But I definitely think they should get a virtual tour. That'd be pretty cool. And what do we got? Number 3, Chichen Itza. So if you guys have remember this from history class, you'll notice that, and it doesn't show it here, but there's a serpent. You see the serpent head right here, and a specific time of day with a specific angle on the structure right here, you'll see there's like a little wavy tail, kind of like a snake, and you see the snake head. So I would definitely check that out, and it would be pretty dope. I mean, have a couple of scans right here, have a couple of scans inside, and again, the virtual tour, you don't want to show all of it, but you want to give people a little taste, because if they can't visit Chichen Itza in Mexico, then I mean, you got to give them something, right? Machu Pichu, another historical place that you guys probably learned in history class, and it's, as you can see, a once isolated Inca empire rising from the misty steppe terraces, blend so naturally. And it does, it blends very, very naturally. I think when they built this, they kind of wanted to be hidden. That's my thought process. So they built it on top of a huge mountaintop so they could just really see below and observe, seeing who's coming in. Are there any enemies, any intruders? Can we take them out? That kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, we could definitely knock out a virtual tour here. Like you see, the surface is pretty grassy. We'd be able to shoot. The only thing is the sunlight probably would interfere a little bit, but I still think we could make that happen. So definitely be cool. And oh my God, the Great Pyramids of Giza, how we could forget. And yeah, that's true. What kind of list would this be if we didn't include the Egyptian pyramids? It's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, guys, you've probably, I don't know if you visited this. I haven't. This is on my bucket list, but I'm so fascinated with mummies. I mean, they found 30 mummies in here, and I think that there's still a bunch left. But just like that Egyptian history, I've always been fascinated with, all right, what are the mummies? What do they represent? Because they have that spiritual body too, with like the Sphinx, and that encompasses like a lot more. The Egyptian people worship cats, and I don't know. I'm not really a cat person. I don't see it, but and the Taj Mahal. Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Just look at the architecture, right? I mean, there's no wonder why, and I was reading this on Google earlier, you literally have to take your shoes and socks off, and they give you shoe covers because they don't want to damage the marble floor. And it took 22 years to make, so listen, if I was owner of Taj Mahal, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, you guys gotta wear some protective shoes on us. So that's that. But yeah, I mean, this is like an average, commercial residential place for us. Honestly, it's huge, but we could do a virtual tour. It'd probably take a couple days, but we can get this done. That'd be cool. Great Wall of China, awesome. And this is a tough one because there's over 13,000 miles of wall. So obviously we're not going to do all 13,000 miles, but what we could do is do maybe these steps and then the adjacent steps right here. I want to sit a little high so we can look down on it, so we can see more area, kind of like can cover and go more 360. That'd be cool too if we could find like a little bend in the wall, if there is one, where we could see it kind of coming. I know it's not a circle, but kind of coming almost full circle, if you know what I mean. So that's that. Oh my god, and then the Colosseum, this is tough. So I didn't go to Italy, but I was in Spain, and I was talking with this woman in a bar who went to the Colosseum, and her great ancestors, she determined was actually a warrior or a Roman soldier in the Colosseum. Like, he died, he fought for, I don't know what, I don't think it was like any punishment or something like that, he didn't break a law and you have to fight for your life. It's nothing like that. I think he was a savage. He loved fighting, and he just wanted to get in there and kill people. It's pretty fucking cool. Sigiriya in Sri Lanka. So I don't know too much about this, but what I do know is it's called the Ryan Lock, and it's called the Ryan Lock for two reasons. Number one, you can see these paws right here. You can see that it kind of looks like a lion, right? You have the mane right here. You have the thick body. Obviously, it was probably a lot more grown out in the ancient times, so you could really make this out to be a maze because the grass was so long, it looked like that. But you see the paws right here, so yeah, that's where it gets its name. Pretty awesome stuff. I mean, this is a really up the stairs we would go, and we would just shoot all right in here. I mean, I think that's maybe a couple thousand square feet, maybe 4 or 5. But nothing crazy. I mean, we could knock this out in a day. It wouldn't, no skin off our backs. I learned about this, and I was remembering Ephesus. I learned in history class. Yeah, so this is an ancient city, and that's right. I believe they just found this not that long ago at all. So they're continuing to really grow, learn, and excavate the process to get more clues. If I was an archaeologist, I would love to work here because there's really a lot of untapped potential. So that's that. Moving along, Acropolis. Gotta love Athens. One thing about Athens is they didn't do the best job at restoring their Acropolis city. So you see, it's kind of in pictures, you'll see there's a bunch of tile and stuff fell down and broke, unfortunately. But tremendous city. I mean, you got to think of the history and it's ancient Greece in general. It was ancient Rome, ancient Greece, and they were just powerhouses in terms of the government. A lot of the stuff we use today in the United States, we got from ancient Greece. So shout out to those guys. But yeah, I mean, a virtual tour. This is relatively small to what we just looked at compared to Sigiriya. So I would definitely think we could knock this out in a couple hours. That'd be cool. And then my personal favorite, I saved this for last, is Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Rio de Janeiro, however you want to pronounce it. I mean, just a tremendous statue. I myself am a Christian man. I believe in a bunch of other religions, but Christ the Redeemer is just a beautiful, beautiful. Again, just look at it. You have the Christ statue, and then the overlying body of water with the land coming out. It's just perfect. It really is an amazing setting. And personally, for me, it would be an honor if I could go up, and I wouldn't even want to do a virtual tour. I would maybe take a couple 360 panos. If I could get on the top of the head and do that, that would be pretty cool. Or maybe we could do a drone. Let's just do that. So I'm not sitting on top of the head and I crack it open. That's not good. Yeah, guys, so that's it. Those were the top 12 wonders of the world. I know there's probably a bunch more that you had in mind, but I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. Thank you so much for all the support. I love it. I love making these videos. If you haven't yet, please read the blog. There's a lot more information about each location and why they are significant. As always, please subscribe, like, comment, any questions you have. I love answering them. I do it personally for myself, and I answer them whenever I get them. So if you send a question in, expect a couple minutes to go by and I'll respond to you. It's not going to take days or weeks. I'm going to respond to you, within like 5 minutes. So it's pretty easy. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys, and I can't wait for the next one. Peace.